Hi, my name is Mukhtar Hussain, and this is my speech for Communications 1105. Martin Luther King loved every American regardless of their skin color. Unlike all the other men, he decided to stand up for his rights and face discrimination head on. He had a decently better life when other men of similar caliber. Martin Luther King was the main leader who spearheaded the civil rights movement. This was the peak of it since it originally started in the 19th century. The flame that caused this movement to be started was when he faced racial segregation in his elementary school. Martin Luther King's speech, "I Have a Dream," was the critical event that got the entire world united against discrimination based on race. His speech, "I Have a Dream," was made in Washington, D.C. in front of thousands of people. That speech was very important in changing the views of racial segregation. Martin used a few influential events to further the civil rights movement. He supported the Memphis strike, where black employees were being forced to work like dogs in deplorable conditions. The black employees, they got no breaks. They had no breaks, and they had to work at the job. They had to do it. They worked 10, 15 hours with no break. They were paid less than their white counterparts. They couldn't even go to the same bathroom or the same water fountain. The second most eventful action after "I Have a Dream" speech was that he undertook to further the cause was the Montgomery bus boycott, probably the most famous one. He was a knight in shining armor for a lot of people. The Montgomery bus boycott was when they went into the bus and they would not move. Rosa Parks was also a part of it. Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks were both very instrumental. This led to countrywide protests. His passion for equality touched everyone. This had a big impact on the American people. Martin Luther King gave the American people a lot of inspiration, and his life and work were the greatest motivation to them. Martin Luther King achieved a lot. He was a passionate talker. He was a minister, and he was also a big motivator. He had a big impact on the American people. He gave the American people lots of inspiration. He got them to work towards something. He was able to end racial discrimination. And Martin Luther King, he ended the oppression that blacks suffered. Martin Luther King led the growth of the civil rights movement. He was very determined. He worked for many people and supported many strikes to promote his ideology for equality. He took so many steps, and he risked his own life to go ahead and help his race, his people of color. Martin Luther King made big lasting efforts on the American people. As of today, we still have a holiday that's named after him, Martin Luther King. In this day and age, without him, people like me and all my other African American friends and family, and just regular people, we would not have this freedom that we have now. So through the efforts of Martin Luther, the people of America were able to get past the racial discrimination, and therefore enabled the American people to have the freedom that they have, the freedom that they worked so hard to achieve, the freedom that many people died over. Martin Luther King was very inspirational. Unfortunately, there was one person who didn't agree with him, and he was unfortunately shot. He was unfortunately shot in the head. But to this day and age, we still remember him and we praise him. Martin Luther King. He was the man. Thank you.